Hi friends, today I'm talking about the rounding off functions in MS Excel. You might have used the rounding off function at least once, but there are 8 different formulas to round off a number in Excel. So why there are 8 functions for the same or similar purpose? Well, because they can give similar results or customized results as per your needs. So let's see what these functions can do. Believe me, after watching this video, you might even never use the traditional round formula anymore. The first one is round itself. The equation is pretty simple. It goes like equal to, open bracket, select the cell you want to round off, comma, and the number of digits you want. If you want 2 decimal points after the number, you can put 2. If you want no decimal points at all, that is as an integer, we can use 0, or better, just close the bracket without anything. Most people stop there, but there is another small hidden feature as well. You can actually use a negative number in the number digit area, which will give you a further rounding off based on multiples of tens. As you can see in this example, if I simply type round and the cell, it will return a rounded integer. If I type a number after the cell, it will leave that much decimal points. If I type a negative number, say negative 1, it will round to the nearest multiples of 10. Or if I type negative 2, it will round to the nearest multiple of 100. This works fine in most situations, but there is a catch. The formula automatically determines whether to round up or round down. If the decimal is equal to or more than a half, it will round up, or otherwise it will round down. Sometimes this is fine, but sometimes it is not. Especially when currency transactions and high volume transactions are involved, we may have to have some better controls. For this, Excel provides two specific formulas, round up and round down. Just like the name says, they work exactly like the round formula. But the round up will always round to the next integer and round down will always reduce the value after the decimal point. As you can see in this example, when I round the number 123,456.7890 using round, it will automatically round to 123,457. If I use round up, the result will be same. But if I use round down, as you can see here, the result will be 123,456. When we use round up, even if the decimal points were 0.123, which is less than 0.5, still the amount will be rounded to 123,457. As I mentioned earlier, you can define the number of decimals or put 0 or even use a negative number. The next function is called Trunc. This function is much similar to round down function. This will remove as many digits as you prefer from the right to the left. But the good thing is, it will only remove the unwanted numbers. It will not round up or round down. It will simply eliminate the unwanted part. With this function, the result will be usually same as round down function. But the benefit is that this is good to have more consistent results. Suppose if the value which you want to change is a variable and the equation cell is not changed, if we use round down function, it may not give same results or consistent results always. But with the trunc, it will simply eliminate the designated part from the number. This function is very useful when you have to have an integer or a number with the fixed decimal points, but the value should be very accurate. So I would say trunc have a higher accuracy than normal round-off functions. Remember, just as in case of the round-off functions, we can use 0, blank or negative numbers to have perfect integer or multiples of tens or hundreds or thousands if you want. The trunc and round functions are good. We have seen how we override the deficiency of round formula in automatic decision making of upward or downward rounding of through round up and round down. But still, there are deficiencies in these equations. As I said before, we can use negative numbers to get the result rounded off to the nearest multiple of 10 or 100. But what if we need to round off to the number to the nearest multiple of a particular number? There are certain situations in real life where we have to face such situations. For example, 1 US dollar is exactly equal to 3.75 Saudi Riyals. That's a fixed rate. Suppose if you are making payments in Saudi Riyals to a US client and if you need to know how many dollar notes are to be paid exactly, we need a better function. We use Mround for such instances. Mround is very similar to round, except one benefit that we can round off the number to any fraction. For instance, if I round up using 10, the output will be a multiple of 10 and there will be no decimals. Suppose, as I mentioned earlier, let's see a real to dollar conversion using this feature. If I replace 10 with 3.75, I get the result as a perfect multiple of 3.75. I hope you understand the mround function. You should try it in your Excel workbook for a better understanding as well. So we have round. To overcome the limitation of deciding whether to round up or down, we got round up and round down. We got trunc function for more accuracy, and within round to create a round result as a multiple of any number, mround as well. Now you might have noticed that just like the round function, the mround function will round either upward or downward automatically. While mastering Excel, we don't want Excel to make decisions itself. So we have two more additional functions to round off numbers with further control. We use functions called floor and ceiling. Just like the name indicates, if we use floor, the number will be rounded off to the downward nearest multiple of the given number. And in case of ceiling, the upward nearest multiple of the given number. Both equations give integer numbers without any decimals. Since it is eliminating decimal part automatically, we don't have to put any 0, blank or negative numbers as before. Even if we use, the equation will return an error only. Now, with the ceiling and floor equations, we can round off the numbers as we like. I will introduce one more last important function in rounding. The equation is called fixed. It is basically a round function with a formatting option. As you see in the example here, the format is like equal to fixed, open bracket, select the cell we want to round off. I have put -1 for the number of multiples of tens. You can put any number of 0. If you put a positive number, that much decimal points will remain, and if you use a negative number, it will be the multiple of hundreds or tens, and you can even put 0 if you want the number as it is without decimals. And after that comma, you have to put 1 or 0, which is basically a true or false question. If you use 1, no commas will come, and if you put 0, there will be commas inside the number as specified in the number format. The equation have two key benefits. One is we can skip a step of formatting, and it helps to save time. Secondly, even if we select the whole column and format it by accident or by purpose, the number format of the cells having fixed equation stays. The good thing is that you can use any of these equations as a combination as well. Like we can use the fixed function and the floor functions together to round off and to have commas. Have you ever needed these equations, or have you ever encountered with any issues in Excel? Please comment them below and we can try to solve them. I hope the various functions for rounding off was helpful. So for more Excel tips and tricks, please subscribe to my channel. Bye.